Morning, everyone, and welcome to our Thanksgiving service. Thank you for joining us today. As you know, our goal is to spiritualize the holidays, obviously starting with today, Thanksgiving, and extending through the holiday season, Christmas, Hanukkah, and New Year's. Now let's start with today. Let me begin simply by saying that everything you have, everything you need is within you. There is that wonderful, mighty presence. And of course, our major goal today is to focus in on that presence and allow it to be your guidance. I encourage you today to be happy. Just be happy today. Smile often. Be gentle, especially with yourself. Be warm for yourself and for others. And especially, I encourage you to join us tonight if you're able to do so. I think it'll be a perfect ending for your day. Let's now begin. It is indeed a joy to celebrate Thanksgiving with you in today's service. While each one of you has your own unique list of things to be thankful for, what I would like to most address today is that something that we all have in common for which we can be thankful. I will announce that theme shortly. But before I do so, I want to announce a theme that we will be carrying through in our holiday services. Today, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's. And the theme is imagine yourself in the consciousness of God. May I just repeat that? Imagine yourself in the consciousness of God. This is what we want to achieve as we spiritualize the holidays, to imagine yourself in the consciousness of God. I will begin with you sharing this particular theme as to how I came across it, and then present three major ideas for Thanksgiving. I will do the very same for this theme as we celebrated at Christmas and Hanukkah, and then also for the New Year's. Let's begin. For several months, I've been working on how we can raise our consciousness to our next level of evolution. In this process, I quickly discovered that the way for us to progress, to evolve, is first of all to get beyond the personality self. We just have to get beyond this personality self, which keeps us bogged down in personal goals and especially bogged down in worldly achievements. I have been pinpointing the limitations of the personality self in our last three Sunday teachings, leading, of course, up to today's teaching. Thus, what I suggest to you is that the most important thing for us to be grateful for at this Thanksgiving, the absolute most important thing for us to be grateful for is how we have been created. The most important thing to be grateful for is how we have come forth from our Creator. The most important thing to be thankful for is how our Creator sees us and what our Creator has meant for us to be. Or as we often say in Course in Miracles language, I am as God created me. I am as God created me. Not as the world tries to create us, promising this and promising that for fulfillment and never quite delivering. And not as the personality self tries to create you itself, often caught in the world's grip, not being enough, not having enough, being that egoic self with that me first attitude. But truly, to move forward as how the Creator has created us, how our real, true self, how our real, true self has not changed since we emerge from the Creator's light. This is what we all have in common And this is what I would most like to celebrate with you today. I truly mean this. This is what we all have in common. This is that for which we can be the most grateful. But before I present the three major areas of gratitude, I want to also thank all of the great spiritual teachers. From Plato and Aristotle, you knew I was going to mention them. Jesus and the Buddha, you knew I was going to mention them. And to the many recent teachers, such as Paramahansa Yogananda and Barbara Marx Hubbard. And I'm sure you have your own personal list of teachers who have spoken to you, perhaps Eckhart Tolle or Jim Self. What I want to thank them for is that each of the great spiritual teachers, and in fact, all of the great spiritual traditions, have given us a template. They have given us a model. They have given us a pathway to follow that is absolutely uniform. They've all said the same thing. There is one template that all of these teachers have given us. Just want to say that again. There is one template and only one template that all of the great teachers have given us. Oh yes, there are historical and cultural practices that we have to sift through because they are different. But let's be crystal clear that there is one universal template of who we are. All of the great teachers and all of the great traditions agree on this. And it is this universal template of humanity, this universal template of humanity that I want to express in today's service, for which we can be most grateful on this Thanksgiving Day in these three areas of gratitude. First and foremost, we can be most grateful for how we have been created. You, I, we, all of us have come forth from the God Spirit. We are as God created us. Not as the world tries to create, not as the limited personality self tries to create us, but rather we are as God created us. We are created in the image and the likeness of God. In a nutshell, this means that our consciousness is the same as the God consciousness. When we simply take the time, as we're doing right now, to realize this truth. Just think about this. Your consciousness is the same as the God consciousness. That's what it means to spiritualize the holidays. Are you beginning to see why I chose this theme? Imagine yourself in the consciousness of God. Imagine yourself in the consciousness of God as we celebrate this holiday season. For this is what we are. This is who we are. The consciousness of God in human form. Oh my, how wonderfully to be so creative. Let's now explore why this sense of self, being in the consciousness of God, is of maximum importance. Please consider this and maybe take a note or two. Do you not clearly see how your sense of self determines what you perceive as your needs and what matters in life? Let me repeat that. Do you not see that how you perceive your sense of self determines your needs in life and what matters in life? As clearly as we can state it, our most important need in life, our most important need in life is to be the God consciousness. What matters most in life, what matters most in life is to be and live in this God consciousness. Are you not now coming to the very same conclusion that the very most important thing we can possibly have in life is to be in this God consciousness daily, hourly? And we have two of the great spiritual lights, the two giants of spiritual tradition, who have helped us to see this most clearly. You know my good friend Plato, who said that the most important thing in life is to know and become like the good. Well, you know, that's true. The most important thing in life is to know and become like the good, his name for God. In Jesus' wonderful teaching, be perfect as your heavenly Father is perfect. Because you are. You can be when you take the time to allow your consciousness to be the God consciousness. Why do you think that Plato and Jesus and all of the great spiritual teachers and traditions have said this? Why would they say this? Is it not that they have realized that we are as God created us? We are the consciousness of God. We are. A few more things, however, need to be said. First, the Spirit of God, the consciousness of God, is the absolute greatest power and experience in life. I need to say that again. The Spirit of God, the consciousness of God, is the absolute greatest power and the greatest experience of life. There is nothing that the Spirit of God is limited by. There is no problem that the Spirit of God cannot solve. The consciousness of God is the power of the universe, and it is now becoming your consciousness and your power. Now, honestly, isn't that true? The consciousness of God is the power of the universe. It's becoming your consciousness and your power. Just like the God consciousness, you realize that you as a soul spirit, are an indestructible, intelligent, loving, and kind consciousness. Now just think, how does that feel? Being an eternal, intelligent, loving, and kind consciousness. How does that affect your life and your actions? Wow. Wow. Just think of us having the God consciousness, that power. Doesn't it kind of make you want to leap for joy? Almost go beyond your skin? One caveat. It is so important to retain this perfection of your being, because you are free as God is free. You can drift and you can momentarily lose your way, either in the world or in your own personal egoic self. Break free. Break free from the world. Break free from your personality self. You are a child of God. You are as God created you. Realize and live up to your pedigree. Come on, realize and live up to your pedigree. We are now ready for the second point of today's teaching. It's one thing to know that you are created in the power of the God Spirit, but it's quite another to bring it into your daily living. Thus, the second aspect of today's teaching is how it has raised up the quality of our lives. How the God consciousness is raising up the quality of our lives. Perhaps you have noticed the following three things that we have experienced in our lives. The first one, I bet you've been able to realize the release of fear and worry with the presence of the Spirit within us. We realize that this presence is able to deal with any particular challenge in life. It's not that we don't have challenges, but we have the power. We have the consciousness to deal effectively with them. Rather than entertaining doubt and confusion, we realize that confidence is now our direction because we rely on the God Spirit to move us through those challenges. There is just a knowing, there is a knowing that you are able to deal with whatever is occurring in your life. There's a knowing. It's not an arrogance. It's not a boastfulness. It's a knowing that whatever is coming to you, you have the power within you to deal with it. This is the knowing. It is the knowing of the power of God. No matter what is occurring, whatever is happening in your life, you will be able to deal with it. And there will be a greater good emerging from it. For you have the wherewithal to understand it and elevate it through the power of the Spirit. This knowing, this confidence that you and I are now experiencing is quite an elevation in our lives that was previously absent. Not anymore. Not anymore. Second point. The second point deals with how much you and I are ready to now allow the Spirit to direct our lives. Yes, it is quite important to allow the Spirit to release fear and worry. Very important to get rid of those things. But it is quite another to allow the Spirit to take over for your thinking, your emotions, and even your physical body. Not just to release what doesn't fit anymore, but now to allow the Holy Spirit to guide you, to elevate you into new heights, new possibilities, new creations, better thinking, higher emotions, more physical activity. This confidence in the Spirit that we now have surely has moved us beyond the past. But what becomes extremely important for us is to move it now into the unlimited aspects of the future. Your Spirit is guiding you to a higher sense of yourself. Now, just be honest. Are you not happier, kinder, wiser than you've ever been? More intelligent, more with it, more knowing what's going on? And now ready to step up and to allow the better parts of your life to come forward. It's easy to cave in at times, but our goal is to rise higher. to move into the better parts of our life. And would you not say that what you're moving into, as much as it is better than what it was, as much as it is better than what it was, is simply a foretaste of what is to come? Isn't there kind of an excitement within you that was never quite there before? You wake up in the morning in this energy. You delight in its presence throughout the course of the day, especially in your spiritual practices. And then you just begin to realize, well, I'm living this way. Can't wait for the next opportunity to be the light of the world. Which now brings me to the third point. You kind of know this, but it's important now to know this. It was Neil Donald Walsh in his trilogy of Conversations with God who coined this particular phrase: becoming the grandest version of the greatest vision of who you are. Becoming the grandest version of the greatest vision of who you are. Now, honestly, wouldn't you say you're doing this, and perhaps with these two twists? The first one, not only are you becoming the grandest version of the greatest vision of who you are, but the you has changed. The you has changed. It's not that you are becoming the grandest version of your human self, of your personality self, but now you are becoming the grandest version of your God self. Wouldn't you say that's true? You're becoming the grandest version of your God self, not your personality self. What a change. What growth. You've changed identities. You've changed identities from a limited human being to a much more unlimited spiritual soul. Again, what a change. How you've grown. And then that second twist. Not only have you moved beyond the cyclicals of the past, but now you realize that your present state of advancement is so much better than your old way of living, your limited past, will now be a launching pad to your next grandest version of the greatest vision of who you are. Get ready for more. You have so much more in front of you. Oh, yes, please enjoy the present, enjoy today, but also know that more is coming. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. More is on the way. We are now ready to address the third aspect of being so beautifully created in the image and likeness of God, for which we are so thankful for today. We will begin with the beautiful teaching from A Course in Miracles and then apply it to our personal lives. First, the teaching from A Course in Miracles, especially understanding its basis. The teaching from A Course in Miracles is to make every encounter with another a holy encounter. You're aware of this. To make every encounter with another a holy encounter. For such an encounter to occur, however, one has to realize that each person is not only made in the image and likeness of God, but that each person is a participation in the oneness. It's not enough just to know this, that we are participants in the oneness. This oneness is within everyone. You begin to see that the holy encounter is a result of the oneness we share with each other. This is the basis. This ability to understand and live oneness with others is the basis of the holy encounter. Need to say that again. This ability to understand and to live oneness with others is the basis of the holy encounter. The holy encounter is to get us beyond just being nice and kind. Additionally, the holy encounter assists us to treat others with a sense of reverence and of holiness. To treat others with a sense of reverence and holiness. To see the other not just in their humanity, but also to see them in their divinity. It's learning to patiently see the other in their divinity from your divinity.
Yeah, divinity. Yeah.
It's learning to patiently see the other in their divinity from your divinity. That's why the original Thanksgiving between the Indians and the Pilgrims is so important. It brings out the importance of oneness, of seeing each other in their divinity from your divinity.
Yeah. Thank you.
This is what is so important in our world today, to be able to see others in their divinity from your divinity. This is what we need in the world today. And we are delivering the goods. We're delivering the goods. We're not just talking this thing, but we are seeing others in their divinity from our divinity. That's the goal of Now Creations. And hopefully that will be the goal of your life, to see others in their divinity from your divinity. But you see, it all starts with the idea of oneness. It's the way we are created. And now it is moving us to begin to see our immediate family and friends today, the people with whom we might be spending today and the holidays, not just from simply a holiday perspective, but from a truly spiritual perspective of acknowledging that divinity within them, to make, in a sense, our encounters holy encounters. We are quite capable of doing so, regardless of where others are. We will make our encounters holy encounters. Certainly, not without times of quiet and patience, as we're doing right now, but also focusing on our oneness and not budging from the truth that we and all others are created beautifully in the image and the likeness of our Creator. It's the truth that will set us free. In conclusion, my hope is that this Thanksgiving teaching is just the beginning of imagining yourself in the consciousness of God. And perhaps not just imagining yourself, but maybe tweaking the word imagining to imaging yourself in the consciousness of God. Firmly grounded in this imaging, we will be able to see Christmas and Hanukkah and the New Year with new eyes as well. We are finally moving beyond the worldly consciousness of the holidays and can really spiritualize them as they were always meant to be, ever new and ever fresh principles that move us forward, no longer stuck in the old stuff that doesn't make sense anymore. Oh yes, we are moving forward together. And isn't this a neat thing to be thankful for? Let me now take you into meditation, and what a joy it is to do so. Let us begin our meditation as we normally do by just focusing on the breath, just nicely breathing in and breathing out. And just notice how this simple breath calms you, brings you inward to your soul. Please begin. So here we are. In my presumption, each one of us has that list of things that we are most grateful for, things that are very, very important to us. Certainly living in a free country, being able to gather with family, friends, being able to vote in elections, worship as we choose. And yet, there is something more. There is simply that consciousness within us that is loving, kind, powerful, wise, yet gentle, supportive. You are in the image and likeness of God. So what I'm going to ask you to do, just take your hand, place it over your sternum, your heart space, and would you simply go within and affirm to yourself. You must affirm it to yourself that I am in the image and likeness of the God consciousness. Would you say it again and again to yourself? I am as God created me. Say it again and again. I am as God created me. Say it again. I am as God created me. Feel this in your soul. Don't delude yourself to think that turkey and dressing can take the place of the God Spirit. Whether you eat alone or with others, understand that it is the God Spirit bringing it forward that elevates the meal and your encounters. First things first. And speaking of encounters, what a great opportunity today to have holy encounters. Whether by text, phone, or in person. Let us reverence the other. Let us reverence the other from their divinity. I realize that divinity is sometimes cleverly disguised by their personality, but strive to get beyond it and reverence them from their divinity, from your divinity. Now that reverencing may come from a smile, handshake, a hug. But no matter what you're doing externally, handshake, hug, smile, may you do it from your internal awareness to the other's internal awareness. We're ready to do this. We're ready to step it up into a much higher level. So would you just say one more time, I am as God created me. This is the greatest thing to be thankful for. And as we play our Namaste song, may you acknowledge that Namaste within yourself. You are as God created you. Wow.
I honor thee. I honor thee. Namaste.
What a joy. What a joy to share this message with you today. How fun, how light, how wonderful we are made. We are as God has created us. May we just be in that joy today. Allow your day to be happy. Smile often, be gentle, warm, encouraging. If you're able to join us, we'll have the perfect nightcap from 7 to 8. Namaste, dear ones. Namaste.